This is like a public service question, I guess. Do you Negroes feel bad that you are very reactionary, no self-restraint, no regard for other human life, pretty dumb, probably 10 points lower IQ than white people, plus you have that sub-Saharan gene which makes you a jungle bunny?
Hey, Brian Colin, you have so many aliases, but do you mind if I just call you Brian? You say Negroes have no self-restraint, no regard for human life. Let me ask you a quick question. Your son has a few battery charges. Does that make him a Negro? Felony domestic violence charge? No regard for human life. I guess that makes him a jungle bunny, huh, Brian? Brian, if you had been half the father as you are a racist, maybe your son wouldn't be strung out right now trying to deal with.
So, white people have done it again. They have taken a phrase and made it their own. They have taken black fatigue, are you fucking kidding me? And made it their own. Basically turned it into a little weapon that they can use. But here's the thing. Black fatigue is real. It is real. I see my friends experience the exhaustion on a daily, regular basis. And to be honest, I get exhausted too. But the privilege that I have, that we as white people have, we can log off. We can delete the app. We can change our algorithms. We can even completely take a hiatus from social media if we want to. But guess who can't? Guess who does not get that privilege?
So what you guys have to understand is that, welcome, this is white supremacy. It's irrational. It's not sensible. And unfortunately, Candace Owens is not qualified to debunk him, which would be, frankly, quite easy to do. But welcome. This is white supremacy. No facts needed. No truth needed.
Development and investment and things like that. But, again, when you look at the antecedents of all these, the history didn't start, like you said, with World War II in the 20th century. There's a reason that European civilization created this enormous gap between them and everybody else. And I don't think it was that it was white supremacy or it was unfair or something like that. I think it's because Europeans are smarter. I think that on average, Europeans
So to
are
use
smarter.
your argument against you, that could be said about Ashkenazis. So if you're sitting here saying, I believe in some conspiracy and that it's a coordinated effort and blah, 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 they could look at you and say, that's a leftist argument. We're just smarter.
Shout out to ABCD writes, what country exactly? I'm not sure if you're talking about what country am I in, but I actually have found that we have a lot of fans around the world, really. But in this country in particular, I got out of the elevator, guys like Peace of the Saints, and I ran a mile and stopped to shadow box. 5 guys walk up like, hey man, we follow this. So I don't want to say what country I'm in because I don't want to be have the nature of my experience here changed. I'm more so staying low key. So I'm not going to say which country I am in. May I acknowledge Chemical Rights, a few old buildings in Africa, the Getty ruins, Great Zimbabwe, ruins of Axum, thank you, Kilwa, Kisiwani, Tethers. This comment is another example of FBA protecting protecting Africa's history. There you go.
I think they are smart.
They are smart. Smarter.
I think they're
The
probably
smartest.
white as a team. People get that way. The Talmud is. The education wars in the high school standardized tests. They're almost all Asians in math and science. Asians aren't overrepresented in power. It's Jewish people. So Jewish people are not, proportionally as more intelligent as they are more overrepresented. And that goes to their real superpower, which is they're an organized minority. An organized minority will be the disorganized majority. As far as
That's funny. I'm pretty sure that Nick Fuentes follows the ism. He absolutely does follow the ism. That's actually a quotation from Vladimir Ilyich Plekhanov Lenin. I don't think he knows that because he's heard me say it, but curious. And that is a fact. He's correct in that. It's one of the few correct things he said tonight.
As Africa is concerned, they didn't have the wheel. We got there, they didn't have the wheel. And it's unfortunate. It's not anything that...
It's wild that Candace is not able to reply to this.
Something very silly and hilarious is going viral in the internet, and I just can't wrap this around my palms. Because tell me why a white man will come on live to define the black people as a set of people with the lowest IQ. Let that sink in for a second. What do you think, in your honest opinion? Do you think this white man is actually right? Is your racist trying to define your I? Is your racist good enough to define your IQ level? I think actually this white man is talking out of racism. Yes. Actually, racism begins when you see yourself unable to compare with a black person. You see yourself in a level where you can't attain. You see yourself in a level where you can't attain another level which is greater than you, and you cannot accept that that particular person is greater than you, or that particular race is greater than you, and you start bringing in some unnecessary thoughts. Because I don't see how an intelligent and high cure person will actually come on live to speak that nonsense. Yes, it doesn't even make sense. Make it make sense. If you actually think he is right, make it make sense. The comment section is very open. Leave your thought there. Leave your thought there. I think because this is not even the first instance, white people always believe that black people are the dumbest set of people. They are the lowest set. They have very low IQ. White people have always acknowledged black as such. But this is very wrong. This is very, very wrong. It's not even a 10% accuracy. And a lot of this is still to hate, and the fact that they cannot accept that black people are strong. Black people are intelligent with very high IQ level. They still can't accept it. So they would
are in any way inferior to white people.
Yes.
Which ways, Bubba?
I mean, they literally have the lowest IQ between blacks and whites, so...
Would you like to do an IQ test right now between yourself and me?
Mine would be much higher.
You think so?
I know so. I don't need to think.
Hey, what's the mitochondria?
The what?
Mitochondria.
So you're going to try these big words to actually try
Super simple question. It's literally,
It's
what,
not,
fourth
so-
grade science? What's the mitochondria?
Actually, it's not. You're just trying to use big words to sound smarter when you're not.
Oh, okay, so you don't know what the mitochondria is.
Okay, so stop trying to use big words.
That's
little buddy,
literally
so...
it's fourth grade science.
No, it's not.
It's fourth grade. It literally is fourth grade science.
Do you remember the fourth grade? 'Cause I don't.
It's okay. Hey, what's the square root of 81?
So what? So I'm trying to debate Dean, not some dumbass nigga.
What's this? Oh, STR. Slur to run. Hey, did you see on his profile that it said that he's a Southern Baptist minister?
I did see that.
Yeah, I saw it coming. The question I had was, I wanted to know, why does he vote alongside of the Klan if he's a minister? But obviously that's why.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, all good.
About that, Santana.
I've been called worse by better people.
Well, listen, I'm not gonna laugh it off because I think that it's incredibly fucked up. But of course, you know, you are the victim of it, and you have the ability to laugh it off as you wish. But what I will say for everybody watching is, if you're unsure about the existence of systemic racism oppressing black and brown people, but not white people, watch my stream and then watch Santana's stream. I've never seen better and more clear evidence of the existence of racism against black and brown people that does not exist against white people. Santana has been on the live for 3 seconds, and he's already been disparaged for his race. I haven't been disparaged for my race in 3 years. So I don't know. Keep that in mind.
I don't know. When they don't have anything, that's what they go to. I mean, and you know, that was on me. I shouldn't have embarrassed them so quickly. Like, that was on me.
You fucking embarrassed him. You fucking embarrassed him. Oh my god. You fucking embarrassed him. I'll happily send you that clip from my live stream. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah,
I've just never seen a
White men commit mass shootings to create terror in an attempt to control people the same way they used to use lynchings to try to control people, because white culture is white supremacy. Once we start realizing that this violence that white people are perpetuating against the nation is rooted in racism and is a result of basically generational trauma of them attending these lynchings, cutting people's body parts off, setting them on fire, taking photos of it, taking body parts home as souvenirs, and they've literally watched this violence, perpetuated this violence for a really, really long time, and now it's just something that they do, and they're raised up in this environment of violence is the answer. Literally from the moment they open their eyes, they have guns in their hands, and they're taught like, oh, somebody breaks into your home, shoot them. Somebody does something to someone you love, shoot them. That's literally what they're taught, and that was something that was taught to them throughout the entire generations. Oh, you don't like black people, you don't think they're equal, they didn't listen to you, kill them, lynch them. Like, that's literally what they've been taught, and they're continuing the cycle of violence because it's in their culture. And the reason why they won't stray away from this being their culture and instead just embracing, being Italian, being German, being French, instead of just embracing the cultures that they come from, they are angry with black people because, one, they took where we came from. We don't know our, I guess, lineage. And so instead we've created a whole new culture surrounding the fact that, we were freed and we are black and we take pride in that. And they want to be able to take pride in being white instead of their culture, when really we are celebrating our culture. We don't know where our roots are from. We can't have, Ethiopian pride because we don't know if we're from there. So instead we create our own culture, our own food, our own music. We created all these things, and they still want to hold on to just being white. And somehow they can't put the pieces together that there's something different in having pride in being black, because there's culture surrounding that, and they don't understand that the reason why you can't be proud for being white is because you're being proud of being a white supremacist. That's literally what your culture is, because there's no other culture surrounding being white. Again, you have Italian heritage, you have French, German, whatever. You have all of those things that you could take pride in, but instead you're trying to take pride in being white. But yeah, this is something that they really need to completely unlearn, because I think it makes them very, very insecure when they already have roots and things that they can be proud of.
I said white people in that video because I meant white people, and white women are included in that number. Y'all always try to do this thing where we speak about the atrocities committed by white people against black and brown groups and other marginalized groups across the globe. And here y'all come with this bullshit about, we are also scared of them. I beg your damn pardon. Y'all have been complicit since day one. So many wars and conflicts have been started simply because y'all felt like making trouble that motherfucking day. Okay? Y'all have been hand in hand with white men from day one, taking, pillaging, stealing, all of it. Y'all have been right there, two peas in a white supremacist pod. And what's funny is there have been books written about the special kind of hell that enslaved black people endured at the hands of the master's wives. Why? Because the masters were not involved with the day-to-day. They had the money and they had the power because they were the men of the house. They were not dealing every day face-to-face, hand-to-hand with the folks that they enslaved. But you know who was? The wives, the mistress of the home was running all that shit. Every day face-to-face, who were white women interacting with during times of enslavement? Who were white women choosing to nurse their children and raise their children? Y'all are in fear because you did clownery, and now the clown is coming back to bite. Y'all were a part of it, so y'all gonna get these consequences too. It's not just historically where y'all have chosen your race over your gender. It's recent as well. You showed it in the way that you continue to vote against your own best interests in order to punish other people. So that was cute and that was a nice try. Take that somewhere else. Y'all are just...
Being racist is proof of a low IQ, and we need to start treating it as such. There is no reason in the year 2025 we let people sit in our face and be like, yeah, you're better than me because of the color of your skin. Truly. Like, why do we even still have these conversations? I don't even understand why we give people platforms and allow them to speak about these things, because it's like we're going in circles and circles and circles about something that fundamentally does not matter, that they've made us they've made matter in order to divide us. And so many of these people are either brainwashed or so fucking hateful and unempathetic that they genuinely believe that race is the end all be all. Like, I would love to have racists in my comments right now. Tell me what valid reasons you have for thinking that you are better than any other race because you're white or because you're any other race. Like, I believe this goes with every race who believes that they're above any minority. But at the end of the day, in America at least, white people made this country. The rules were built for them, by them. So we can acknowledge that systematic racism is real. And we need to stop acting like these racists are just not fucking stupid.
Racism, that's the problem, because we know that's all you've got. That's all your parents passed down to you. That's all their parents passed down to them. That's all their parents' parents passed down to them, and so on and so forth. So we understand that's all you got. We understand that the entirety of your lives, the entirety of your personality has been built upon the foundation of racism, and that's all you have. The problem comes in when you think your racism inspires fear, when you think your racism makes you sound tough or look tough or whatever the case may be. But here's the truth that you know and we know, and you know we know. You just simply aren't built for one-on-one combat. The only true power that you have lies at the end of your weapon. You know it and we know it. And we know that that is why you'll single out one black person, say a truck driver in North Carolina traveling alone, and swoop down on him like a pack of rabid dogs. Because that's the only way you can do it. Like sneaky little dirty little rats skulking through the mud in the dead of night. That is what you are. And that is what you'll always be. Because it's not patriotism that drives you. It's fear. You know it. And we know it. And you know we know it.
A psychology professor at the University of Winnipeg was teaching his students that people who are black have lower IQs and that they are more likely to commit murder than white people. His name is Professor Jeremy Freimer, and students obviously filed complaints because that's incorrect. His defense is that the statistics are there. There are statistics that say these things. But the thing that I find so incredibly interesting, especially in somebody who is academically teaching psychology that thrives on studies, is that statistics are like a bikini. What they reveal is interesting, but what they cover is crucial. For example, there's a statistic that exists that says in Canada, Jewish people experience the most hate crimes. And you could read that statistic and feel in your heart that it is true. But what you must understand first is that in order to report a hate crime, you must have faith in the police and you must report them to police. That truth becomes a little bit foggy because, yes, Jews reported more hate crimes than any other minority groups in Canada, but we can't ignore the glaring fact that in Northern Ontario, in honestly any place, there's probably so many Indigenous people who aren't reporting hate crimes. There's definitely a lot of Black folks who aren't reporting hate crimes. And it's those hidden parts of the statistic that make those statistics untrue. In the example of Black people are more genetically inclined to commit crime. In order to make that claim, you would have to find the gene for murder in DNA, which does not exist. Therefore, you would have to look at other socioeconomic standards because race is not the common denominator here. Could you find a statistic that says men between the ages of X and Y who grew up without present parents in their household, who lived in households making under X amount of dollars, who had experienced juvenile detention between the ages of X and Y, are more likely to commit murder, yes, you could create a statistic like that. But when there is nothing in the actual genetic material that is telling you, oh, check, commit more crime, check, have a lower IQ, then you have to start looking at other factors because race is not the common denominator there. And I think it's actually absolutely appalling that somebody in an academic field would not have the vision to see it that way. And you know, during the pandemic, Trump said, well, if we stop testing, then we're going to stop having cases of COVID. That's kind of why these statistics exist. In places that are over-policed, such as black neighborhoods, you're going to find more crime because there are more police there. That incredibly narrow-minded, closed-minded, I'm looking for statistics that affirm my own personal beliefs, that shit has no place in academia. And I'm so proud of all of those students for coming through and being like, this shit is not correct. Even if you have the statistics to prove it, this shit is not correct.
This is like a public service question, I guess. Do you Negroes feel bad that you are very reactionary, no self-restraint, no regard for other human life, pretty dumb, probably 10 points lower IQ than white people, plus you have that sub-Saharan gene, which makes you a jungle bunny and an animal. So that's why you're having a hard time getting by in society. If you just looked at your own behavior, maybe you could help fix it. I don't know. I don't think you just want to. I think you just like living like that. Animals. But whatever.
Hi, John. How are you? Do you want to see some pictures of what I did over the weekend? This is me and my friends walking to the football game. This is the marching band right before the football game. I saw this guy wearing this sweatshirt. I thought it was kind of cool. This was the score of the last 2 minutes of the first quarter. This is me walking around the tailgate area after the game. I wish I'd taken a picture of this before I started eating it, but this was a plate of food that I got from a complete stranger at the game. And good God, there was so much food, and it was good. And then after the game, horses showed up. Yes, horses. That was a North Carolina A&T homecoming game, John. Are you familiar with North Carolina A&T? But before I get to that, John, I want to ask you a question. Are you an aerospace engineer? Do you know any aerospace engineers? I know aerospace engineers. I know 2 of them, and they're both black. Do you have a computer science degree, John? Or better yet, do you have a PhD in computer science? Do you know anybody with a PhD in computer science? Because I do, and she also happens to be black. What about mechanical engineering, John? Do you know anyone with a PhD in mechanical engineering? Because I do, and they're all black. What about a dual degree? Do you know anyone with a master's in geology and a PhD in mathematics? Do you know anyone like that, John? Because I do, and he's black. His wife's a professor. She also has a PhD in chemistry. And surprise, surprise, she's also black. Do you see where I'm going with this, John? All those people I mentioned, they either teach or have graduated from North Carolina A&T. And just for the record, for those of you who say they have lower standards at HBCUs, because North Carolina A&T is an HBCU, that's not possible. If you are an institute of higher learning and you offer an associate's, a bachelor's, a master's, a PhD, you have to be accredited, and all those accreditation standards are the same for everyone. They do not lower standards for any institute of higher learning. Now, with all that being said, John, all those people I mentioned, I'm almost 100% certain they have a higher degree than you. So if their IQs are lower, as you put it, how smart does that make you? Let me answer that question for you, John. Obviously not smart enough to not be a racist piece of shit. Well, anyway, this has been Doc for Diesel Punk Industries saying, keep pride. Thanks for watching, and as always, Crunchy White Pimp.
You have watched to this level, right? And what have you seen so far? You have come across different videos, different debates about this issue. And in your honest opinion, do you think the black people have high IQ than the white people, or the white people have high IQ than the black people? As for me, in my own honest opinion, I would say your race does not define your IQ. Yes, your race does not define your IQ. A white person can still be with a higher IQ than a black person, and a black person can still be with a higher IQ than a white person. So your IQ does not define where you are from, your country, your culture, and whatsoever. It doesn't define. It's genetic attribute, genetic character. So IQ has no property with your race. It has no rule to do with your race. Thanks for watching, and please do not forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification box, because I update you with content like this every single day, every single week. Do not forget to leave me with a red heart. See you in my next episode.